Broads Media.
If you think I am waiting for this game to end, you do crack, okay? Now, unfortunately, it's still in front of my face right now because, well, I have to see what happens in the fourth quarter, apparently. My brain doesn't work that way where I can completely shut it off, but it should because this team is a disgrace. They're frauds. Oh, my God, they are the biggest frauds to ever put on a football uniform. They suck. They absolutely suck. And A.J. Brown had a players-only meeting, right? We had to find out about an hour before kickoff from Jay Glazer that, all right, baby, it's time. It's week 18, and now it's time for the Eagles to have a players-only meeting to really stress that you have to believe in this coaching staff. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Imagine thinking that you have a chance to compete for the Super Bowl and you have to convince your team with one game left against the New York Giants, who are horrible, who suck, they blow, and they go out there and hang 24 points on you. Man, you can't tackle to save your life. But Nick Sirianni told me that missed tackles was uncharacteristic. No. Nick, let me explain something to you. You're bad. You're bad. Your philosophies don't work. Your entire room doesn't believe in you anymore. And you're failing miserably to the point where you could reasonably lose your damn job. So don't you dare try to tell us that we don't know what we're looking at. We know exactly what we're looking at. A team that is poorly coached, a team that doesn't have an answer to a blitz. What did you think the New York Giants would do to Jalen Hurts? What did you think that their mentality would be in essentially a useless game for them, and they're just playing out there for pride? And guess what? They got more pride than you. They want it more than you. They actually have balls and a willingness to step up in a football game while you crack. Okay, so let me know what team has a come-to-Jesus moment an hour. I guess the meeting actually happened before an hour before the game, but like with one game left in the entire season, all of a sudden they figured it out. They are a mess, man, an absolute joke. They are going to get shit rocked against Tampa Bay. Here comes Baker Mayfield. He's going to torch this defense. I'm watching James Bradbury and Zach Cunningham run into each other trying to make a tackle. It's an embarrassment. All right, here's Slayton wide open. Nolan Smith and Morrow were running to save their lives, trying to catch up to Saquon Barkley, who has a massive gain in the passing game down the left side of the field. Reed Blankenship's trying to hustle too. They look awful. They look awful. Somehow, there was someone in that organization that truly felt deep down that Matt Patricia was an upgrade over Sean Desai. Not only is Matt Patricia worse, Matt Patricia is significantly worse. Imagine that. I want you to think about that. Take that all in. That Matt Patricia has been significantly worse than Sean Desai. These guys are lost. There's wide open middle of the field every single damn play. It feels like I've never seen a collapse so brutal. And that's why, even though that there are a portion of the fan base, or there is a portion of the fan base that are disappointed that Sirianni even started the starters because we saw an A.J. Brown injury, a Sidney Brown injury, a Jalen Hurts finger that was dislocated that essentially looked like he was flipping everybody off, which I guess is poetic in a time like this because, man, do we hate this football team, and man, does it feel like they've been flipping us the double bird for basically 6 weeks now because I want to throw up and vomit anytime that they are on my TV. Mariota's just throwing a pass. His first pass is so easy to figure out that they jumped around in 3 seconds and the ball's picked off. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this offense. Yeah, this fucking offense is fucking amazing. Yeah, Nick, you got everything rolling, man. You got this thing figured out, buddy. 2 thumbs up. What an amazing, amazing, masterful NFL mind we have here. I tweeted this out. I don't know, Arthur Smith or Nick Sirianni. Throw it up. It's a coin flip. It's a coin toss at this rate. That's right, Arthur Smith or Nick Sirianni. That's how piss poor he is coaching this team. And I don't think that you are in a good position, Nicholas, if one of your best players has to step up and try and provide some sort of belief in you. They were so desperate. And look at the response. The response was putrid. So let that sink in on how they really feel about you. And now I'm seeing Eli Ricks down on the field. He's down and looks like he's in a lot of pain. Yeah, MetLife is MetLife. But guess what? It wasn't MetLife, if I saw the replay correctly, that really hurt A.J. Brown. Looked like it was just the tackle after he fumbled. And by the way, I know it's not the number one target today because there's so much dysfunction starting at the top of this organization, but for a guy that's going to lead a message, for a guy that's going to try and get everybody together, you can't fumble that football. You can't fumble that football. That was a clean catch, and you got to hold on to the ball. You let them punch it out with ease, like with ease. Well, if you're going to be the messenger, I think you got to have some sort of response from a leadership view, and I hated that out of AJ. Now, that's not my number one priority, but it is a detail with this team that they turn the ball over. A lack of details. They don't know what details are, but the number one thing that the coach likes to tell the entire world is we emphasize details. Let me get this straight. How? None of this adds up. This is one of the worst things I've ever experienced in my life. You see all these stats about their point differential, having 11 wins on the season. We've never seen anything like this. But, oh, yeah, back to maybe some portions of this fan base being disappointed in actually putting your starters out there. You are barking up the wrong tree because this is what I keep hearing. You could have eliminated this. Now the entire team feels worse about themselves, and you got a lot of the guys banged up. What were you thinking? You could have rested them. You could have had them hanging out on the bench so then they are a little bit healthier heading into Tampa Bay. Hold on a second. So you're going to let this just fly. You're more angry, and you're angrier at the fact that this coaching staff, when Washington was actually putting up a decent fight against Dallas before it got blown out of proportion, they had the lead, they got the ball, they were actually involved for a little bit of time while the Eagle starters were in. So I don't see an issue with that at all. You can have a chance of winning the division, and you don't want a chance at all. Maybe you can make the argument that your actual backups can do better than anything your starters can, but that's a problem, and that's my point. So for some reason, you are angrier at the head coach for electing to go with their starters. That makes you more pissed off than the fact that this is the product you get from your starters. Don't you see that there is such a problem internally? That should kill you inside as an Eagles fan. And the fact that the coaches understood and were willing to try and get some confidence out of them. I know it failed, okay? And there's a lot of reasons why it failed. But the principle heading into the game and the idea and the concepts of you're still in this, you still have a chance to possibly win the division. You might not get the 5th seed if Dallas folds completely, which they didn't. And they are actually more of a team and more of a real legitimate weapon than anything you think you are. But I'm willing to go out there and at least try to get right compared to being a little bitch. I'm just being honest. Now, unfortunately, they tried to get it right, and then they were still a little bitch, which is very, very difficult to swallow. But at least they attempted. I'll take the attempt, even though the the results were pitiful and disgusting and so awful. It doesn't get much worse than this. At least they tried. I'll give them the at least they tried over packing it in and say, oh, hopefully nothing. Hopefully your sister's ass, because you guys are frauds. That's what it is. You are flat out frauds, and it is horrible to watch. What else we got? Oh, I know why Penny doesn't play. Did anyone watch that blitz pickup? Oh, my God. That was horrendous. So that's why he doesn't play. Hurts is constantly flushed out of the pocket with limited options. He rolls to his right. It's vertical routes. You get nothing essentially. The first drive, you could see it so easily. You could see it like perfectly how this was going to go, what was going to happen. Hey, you flush him to the right. There's all this time that gets taken away from him. He's got zero seconds to get going in the offense. At the same time, though, I feel there is something on Jalen Hurts' platter that should be able to recognize here is a blitz come. They are bringing pressure. There's got to be something that falls on the QB. Now, more of it is the head coach. More of it is the lack of understanding from the offensive minds who run this offense. There is an area, though, where I would love my quarterback to see, hey, this is going to happen here, see it play out, and then have an answer, have a response prior to the ball being snapped so we don't get obliterated as much. So some of this does fall on the quarterback, who I know is not having a bunch of time to sit back and pick apart the defense. And I don't want to hear that. Well, they didn't have Devontae Smith. They didn't have A.J. Brown when he went down, and you have Julio Jones, and you're playing with Quest. I don't care. The Giants are playing with DeVito. The Giants are playing with Tyrod Taylor. They got a broken-ass version of Waller, who I think they expected to be a bigger splash when he signed here. Saquon can run the ball fine, and obviously he had the nice catch down the left side of the field, but stop it. They hung 24-plus on you when the game's barely halfway over. And they don't have special pieces. You can't do anything. Like, you literally can't do anything. You can't score points. You can't score points with Julio, Quez, and some of these other players. I'm sorry. That is unacceptable, no matter if you're down 2 pass catchers against a Giants team that barely won 4 games all year. They're 5-11, looking down at the graphic. A 5-win team. And you look so out of sync, and you look so incompetent. You don't even look like a professional football team. I'm sorry, that's not good enough. Even with a lack of talent on the field, can you look like a legitimate offense? Can you look like an offense that knows what the hell they're doing? Nobody's on the same page. Everything's out of whack. They're all confused. Nobody's enjoying this, the players or the fans themselves. This is disgusting, and it all stems from the lack of belief of the head coach. They don't believe in him. They do not believe in what he's selling, and the only reason you have a meeting like that, a players-only meeting led by A.J. Brown, is because they could tell that this is slipping away from the head coach insanely. The one moment you even have to tell everybody to start believing, that means you don't start believing. It's week 18, dude. What do you mean? We have to start now when there's 1 game left against the New York Giants? That's when? Think about that. Your team sucks. Absolutely sucks if that's the conversation you're having with 1 game to go. It's unreal. I mean, I just can't believe it. What else I can't believe is how amazing HelloFresh is. What's HelloFresh? Well, HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. So skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. So there's over 40 recipes to choose from every week. So there's always something delicious to discover with HelloFresh. HelloFresh does all the meal planning for you and shopping. So the ingredients arrive right at your doorstep, pre-portioned and ready to work, along with pictured step-by-step recipe cards. How easy is that? HelloFresh is 25% less expensive than takeout. So that means you get an easy home-cooked meal on the table and even more money back in your pocket. So go to HelloFresh.com/50broads and use code 50broads for 50% off plus free shipping. That's code 50broads for 50% 10% off plus free shipping. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit. Oh, congratulations, Quez Watkins. Congratulations. Looks like he scored a touchdown. So now they're only down 24-10. Whoop-de-damn fucking do. My God, I can't stand anything about this. Even when they do something well, even when they have a nice catch, he goes up and grabs it. You suck. Boo! Boo! That's how I feel. Boo! Atrocious. Atrocious. They don't even know what they're doing. And I know what we're going to get. I know exactly what I'm going to have to hear, and it's going to make my blood boil. That Nick Sirianni didn't want to put anything on tape. Did you not want to put anything on tape all year, dude? I mean, honestly, all year, did you not want to put anything on tape for other teams? Because that's what this offense looked like. You wanted to provide a big, fat old goose egg to every other coach in the world. And there are actually fans that subscribe to that narrative that they're trying to play possum throughout the regular season and turn it on. You are fooled, bro. You are fooled if you think this team is just going to turn it on. Let me know the team that's holding it all within. Are they also playing possum about the player-only meeting? Is that playing possum too? So then, I don't know, Baker Mayfield and Todd Bowles thinks that this is all real. Hold on a second. They're falling apart. They're collapsing. We barely have to do anything for the weekend's game. They might get the worst actual time for the game because no one wants to watch this crap. This is one of the worst teams to ever play in the NFL. I don't want to watch them ever. I would put them on the worst slot. If there was a possibility of airing this game at 3 a.m. in the middle of the morning so no one's eyes bleed, well then fair game, man. I would look for that if I'm ESPN, Fox, NBC, CBS, any TV network. I will put on paid programming. You could buy them up, and if you call now, you get the second one free for only a price of $9.99. So call today. I would rather do that. I mean, it's not just me. Someone else's eyes were bleeding. Who was it? Cam Jurgens. Cam Jurgens had to leave the game because his eyes couldn't take what he was seeing anymore. I don't blame you, dude. You and everybody else in the Delaware Valley, because your coach is a fraud. Your entire coaching staff is a fraud. Your team is very fraudulent. You guys are a mess. And I'm sorry, but I have to hold you accountable. You're crap. Your entire team is dysfunctional as hell, and it starts from the top. So if this was a Howie Roseman move, the defensive coordinator, he deserves a massive amount of blame for going to somebody worse. Now, is that the difference in me feeling great about this? Not at all. But it just shows you how incompetent they are. It shows you that they hit a panic button and then everything got worse after that. They hit a button that was so unnecessary at the time. It wasn't great. Third downs were bad. But we even saw it after they removed the third downs from Sean Desai's plate behind closed doors. Those third downs were continuing to be one of the most pathetic third downs that we've seen in the sport. So going to decide, and then eventually saying, you know what, this is still bad. Speaking of the third downs, it's not like Patricia actually saved anything and then did good. They were just as brutal. So you know what, let's give him more. Let's put more in his hands. Let's ask him to have the ability to stand on the sidelines and start picking these plays while Sean Desai could watch from the booth. Let that sink in, that they tried to get better and improve on third downs. They didn't, and then gave Matt Patricia more. How does that make any sense? And if that is a Howie Roseman move, which I tend to believe that decision was not Nick Sirianni, because if that's the case, then there would have been more firings underneath of him. There would have been more coaches that were left in the dust, and Brian Johnson would have been removed and all that. But I still think that deep down, something's happening internally that we're just not familiar with yet. And when the season ends, Jeff McClain will have it, or one of these beat reporters that get the juicy information. Maybe D. Gunn puts out a little something here or there. There's going to be a lot of talk around town, and it will make you question if Jeffrey Lurie can even bring back Nick Sirianni. That will be no surprise. I mean, it's going to happen. It's not, will probably, no, it's going to happen. It's only about time at this rate, as a big 2nd and 9 goes for a good 15 yards, wide open in the middle of the field. Oh, this defense, I'll tell you what, man. The Giants are just moving this ball at will right now. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, look at play action under center. The whole entire defense goes with the play action. Is that DeVito? Was that my man DeVito? No, Tyrod Taylor's back in. Sorry. The Giants are so bad that they're just flip-flopping back and forth. This guy's hurt. Well, no, DeVito's back. Oh, no, that guy's hurt. No, Tyrod's back in. They don't even know what they're doing, and they're cooking your ass. They're cooking your ass. He's 20 for 27, Tyrod Taylor, with another completion for a good 7 yards. Now it's 2nd and 3, second and manageable. Oh, man, one of the worst teams I've ever laid eyes on, the 2023 Philadelphia Eagles. Okay. All right, I'll shut up so you guys can all bark as loudly as you want here. Let's run to the Anytime Hotline and hear what you guys say. Speaking of run, I feel like my nose is running because I'm so sad. I'm so upset. Maybe I'll grab a tissue here over on the side as the calls play. Yeah, okay, let's do that.
This team has me calling at halftime. I mean, it's just funny because I've smelt this for weeks. Even the opening game, I don't want to sound like I'm that guy and giving myself a pat on the back. Something smelt funny about the secondary. I wasn't wrong to feel weird. The secondary sucks. The linebacker play makes me miss Nate Gary. And the coaching is just abysmal. Getting out coached by the Giants, they look way more creative offensively. And now you have injuries because, you know, why wrap up the season? Why finish things off when you start off 10-1 when you could just start to lose out? Why do that? The team motto should be pack it up. They're not beating Tampa Bay. It's over.
The team motto should be back it up as the Giants get a 3rd and 4 slant for another first down. Nate Gary would fit right into this mix. Don't you dare put Nate Gary on a pedestal. I know you're just saying that in a facetious way, but I won't even allow that, all right? As much pain as we're in and as much suffering as we're dealing with nonstop on the daily, there's no way we could be screaming for Nate Gary to return. He'd be running like a chicken with his head cut off just like everybody else out there. So no. And once again, the first game of the year thing, everything changed against San Fran. They were a team with cockiness, with arrogance, with determination as Tyrod Taylor runs for 14 yards on 1st and 10 with his legs and gets an easy first down where nobody was even close to him. No one even close, not even 5 yards near him at any point during that run. This defense sucks. But, yeah, I mean, for real, they had this it factor about them. They find ways to win. They grind you down. You can never count them out. They had something cool about their 10-1 start, even though other teams made runs and they would crack back into the lead. You were still winning at such a high, insane clip. And when the fourth quarter came around, it was all she wrote as Barkley runs for 13 yards right up the fucking middle, man. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That wasn't even Barkley. Barkley's out of the game. With 5 and change to go, they got no-name dudes just charging through the teeth of your defense. Morrow goes, nah, I don't want anything to do with you. Shaq Leonard gets pushed off, and he falls to the ground. That guy's a joke. A joke. They've given up. This team has given up. Oh, my God, they 405 yards today so far with 5 minutes to go. 400-plus yards. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. The Eagles are so bad. They are so bad at football. They're the worst football team to ever play football.
Hey, bros. First-time caller, long-time listener. That Giants just scored again. God, I don't know what to do with myself. I called it, so we're going to lose this. We're going to go to Tampa and get bounced there. This team is just so bad. I don't know what's wrong, where it went wrong, how it went wrong. It's honestly heartbreaking. It's been a fan for my whole life. I don't even know what to say anymore. What do you think we do, man? Let me know. Thanks for keeping up the good content, brother. Take care.
Well, thank you so much. What do they do? It depends on how it looks against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, all things considered, you had a chance to compete for a championship when you were 10-1. You had a chance to win the division. The fact that you're even screaming about if starters should play or not in Week 18 tells you on how far it's really gone. I know right now the moment says get rid of Nick Sirianni. This guy's an absolute clown. Nobody believes in him. And to answer your part of the question, where do you think it all went wrong? I think it went wrong because nobody believes in the top dog. And when nobody believes in the top dog, these are the results that you get. So if no one believes in him, why would you move forward with him? And it's a fair question. It's so easy right now to point the finger at Nick and say you don't want anything to do with him ever again. I don't know if that's what I want. I do think deep down that he deserves a chance with 2 new coordinators, but sometimes in professional sports, when you lose these pro athletes that get paid a lot of money, if they're not willing to commit to you, then I'm sorry, that might be it. I mean, that just might be it. You might not have a second chance. You can't go through another season and try and sell the same exact garbage that they wouldn't pick up the previous season. Because let's be honest, Nick Sirianni's not changing his core values. Those are his beliefs. He's not changing his personality. That's who he is, and that's how he coaches. Well, if guys are already rolling their eyes, thinking there's no way that I'm going to go to war for this guy, there's no way that I'm willing to commit every ounce of my body, blood, sweat, and tears to fight on the gridiron for this guy, well then, where do you go? You're going to put that guy back in position of power? So right now, it's easy to say, let's start things fresh and get rid of him and get rid of the OC and DC. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a conversation that we'll have after the debacle against, and I'm already labeling it the debacle against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If it looks very similar to this, and there's no reason for me to believe that it won't, well then, yeah, no doubt, I'm open to have that combo. If they win that game and then they get beat up, bounced insanely against a way better team, then it tells you you're in the same category as the New York Giants of last year, because that's what they did. They won a game against Minnesota. Everyone thought that they were the greatest in the world. Then they go see a real team at the Link and get blown up. If that's what happens, then the front office needs to recognize that they're committing to being the New York Giants of last year, which is not a high enough bar either. So it does ask a lot of questions that need to be answered, and right now I just don't have the answer for you, unfortunately. I got to see how the rest of this thing plays out.
It's halftime. It's 24-0 Giants. The Eagles suck, the Eagles suck, the Eagles suck, the Eagles suck, and the Eagles suck. Nick Sirianni is going to get fired when the Eagles lose in the first round. The defense is absolutely disgusting. The whole entire thing needs to be rebuilt. It's an absolute travesty. They thought Sean Desai was the problem. What the hell is that? This defense is cooked. The offense sucks. You don't have your top receivers. Jalen Hurts looks like shit out there. You're throwing to Julio Jones and Quez Watkins. You can't run the ball. Jason Kelsey, this is his last regular season game. He's going to have one game left, and the Eagles are going to get blown out in the first round because they're absolute frauds. I know I'm talking fast as fuck right now, but, man, this is the only way I can get it all out. They suck ass. They are frauds, and I can't believe it. We really thought this team could go to the Super Bowl. Beat the Chiefs, they beat the Bills, but they were squeaking by, man. And when you play the Giants and you're down 24-0, I don't give a fuck who's playing. You are frauds. You are bums. I am done. Goodbye.
As you say that, Marcus Mariota just drops the ball. He literally, in the pocket, just dropped the ball. Oh, no, someone got a hand on it as he was getting sacked. There's a guy on this team with the last name McCullum. Did anyone know that? Did anyone know that there was someone on the Eagles roster with the last name McCullum? You learn something new every day. Hey, did you know that TickPick's the greatest in the world? Well, you learn something new every day. TickPick's prices will beat any of the major competing marketplaces, and TickPick is so confident that they guarantee it. If you find the same seats elsewhere at a better price than TickPick, you get 110% of the price difference in form of TickPick credit. So if you're looking to go to a Sixers game, a Flyers game, there was a good game down at the barn on Saturday Saturday afternoon against Calgary. What an awesome response by John Tortorella and that crew. If you click the link down below, you will get $10 off for your purchase. My promo code's already activated with that link. And there's also upfront pricing. So no more doing the math in your head to prepare for how much extra you plan on spending on top of the listed price and on other sites, because the price you see on TickPick is the price you'll pay, period, end of story. There's no added service fees, hidden fees, or otherwise, so make sure you join the TickPick family. One of the worst teams I could ever remember. One of the worst teams I've ever seen. One of the worst teams my eyeballs have ever viewed. Do you like Bradbury? Do you like Cunningham missing tackles? How about Nolan Smith and Morrow? They suck. Thanks, everybody, so much for listening. We've completed another regular season. I hope you had a blast. I sure had a blast. We'll see where this team takes us throughout the next week as we prepare for a playoff game. Thank you guys all so much. We'll be talking soon. See you on the next one.